Sound plays a vital role in our day-to-day lives, from hearing music to listening to people talk. It is no wonder why sound plays a key role in especially games, where sound can help tell people what is going on, such as who is where, what is being used, who or what is appearing, and so on. Games use sound to help elevate the gameplay experience, often used to guide players via pinging sounds or audio cues. Sound can also be used to bring life to the environment via ambient noise or music, and there are several games which use sound to their advantage. Starting off with games that use the sound effects for combat immersion. Often seen in multiplayer FPS games, sound cues in these games play a crucial role in locating where enemies or threats are. The ability to hear what others are doing near you helps you to strategically plan what to do, such as where to position yourself to get the upper hand against enemies. Examples of such sounds are footsteps and gunshots. An example of this is a game called Valorant, which heavily utilizes these sounds and more. Additional audio cues are ability usage, picking up items and special orbs, planting a bomb, defusing a bomb, and a timer for the bomb to explode. A fun trait about defusing the bomb is how some players may use it to their advantage to lure out those who planted it. Another sound feature in games is the spawning of enemies. In games such as looter-shooter games or just PvE games in general, the audio cues of being able to tell what kind of enemies are spawning, how many enemies are spawning, or when enemies are spawning. These sound cues help to keep players alert and ready for the fight they are about to face. Games like Call of Duty and Fortnite do this in their PvE game modes, but the one game example we are looking into is Warhammer Vermintide 2. In Vermintide 2, the ability to hear when and where the enemies are spawning are crucial for the player's survival. This is especially important when elite or special enemies spawn, such as the Gutter Runner, the Warp Fire Thrower, and the Spawn of Chaos, which also spawns in with a boss music that we will touch into later. Another important audio cue in Vermintide 2 is when a horde spawns. A loud blaring war horn will be heard first, followed by war music and a horde of enemies. The horn is to alert players to get ready to face an incoming swarming crowd. In games like racing games, on the other hand, another sound feature is being used, and that is the gameplay feedback for the player. Feedback such as the sound a vehicle makes, like the engine revving or the tires screeching, which gives feedback on how the player is driving. Another feedback is the instructions given to players. In racing games, players would often have a co-driver to alert the players of the road ahead. This feedback is the most crucial for players, as the clarity and timing for when these instructions are given can help players to make the right turns or moves when on the track, and a single wrong move can mess up the whole race for the player. These feedbacks are especially prevalent in a game like Dirt Rally 2.0, a rally racing game where players race on rough tracks in tight spaces. The sound of the engine in this game often indicates how fast the car is going, and the importance of instructions from co-drivers have been scaled up tenfold. And lastly, touching upon the point made earlier for Vermintide 2 is music. Music is one of, if not the most important sound feature in games, alongside sound ambience. These help bring life to a game through atmospheric sounds, enhancing the immersion and gameplay experience. An example for a game is Elden Ring. In this game, the sound ambience helps bring life to the open world landscape of the game. Such sound ambience involves birds chirping, the winds blowing, leaves falling, and maybe occasional wild animals or enemies. The music in Elden Ring also helps elevate player experience, such as exploring the open world where adventurous or calm music plays, or during boss fights where the music is intense, which promotes players to be active and alert. Thus, to quickly conclude, sound in games help improve a player's experience. Although it isn't important in some games, it definitely lightens up their overall experience. Thank you for watching.